When we got home, I knew that the physical part of her was out because I sat in the delivery room, I saw what went down, and I knew that it was going to take some time to recuperate.
Basically, she was scared because she didn't know about babies and all that stuff. So, I guess getting her adjusted to what's to be expected, and making sure she knew what she was doing, that it was fine, and everything was okay, that I was going to be there for her.
The moms have a huge job in this. It's just, especially in these early few weeks and months, I mean, I kind of see myself as support cast for mom and kid.
Your wife is going to be totally different for a few weeks, and just kind of try and ride it out. I mean, not in a bad way either. Well, sometimes in a bad way, sometimes in a good way. Just kind of depends.
The emotional changes, that was a huge learning curve for me with my wife. The emotional changes that she went through, the hormonal changes was, you know, at first I was unempathetic, and I had to learn, you know, that she is changing, like, you know, and this was during the pregnancy, and since the baby's been born, things have changed. So, you know, as long as I realize that, it kind of gives me a little freedom to kind of step back and say, okay, you know, things are just changing all around.
Olivia was a C-section baby, so my wife was down quite a bit early. So there was pretty much everything to do. So I mean, just helping all the way around, making food, taking care of the baby, you know, letting her get out of the house for a couple hours, all that stuff I think is just the way to go.
Once again with twins, it's kind of like there's always something to do. It's not like one person can handle it anymore. If you're there and the baby's crying, you know, make it your job. You know, anything that is within your ability, which is everything except breastfeeding, you can do.
You drive in that driveway and you might have had the toughest day of the year, and your wife's been taking care of the baby, and she thinks you just spent the day at the country club. So if you think that you're going to get compassion for your tough day at the office, it's not going to happen. You need to walk in that house and be the dad.
My wife is very particular about housework, so that's been kind of difficult, but it's been more, fortunately, she's been very trusting with me and the baby. And for one example, on Fridays, the way it's been working out, I'm able to work from home and she's able to go into the office. She's still trying to work part-time from home and then goes in on Fridays. And so Friday, you know, we switch off and I take the baby all day. It gives me a great perspective because taking the baby all day, it's a full-time job.
Breastfeeding can take anywhere from 20 minutes to a half hour depending on, and we just developed that she would pump and I would feed him from the bottle from a previous pumping, and we could keep it at a 15-minute. So the total from getting up, getting everything prepared, and going back to bed and laying back down and actually starting to sleep was a total of about a half an hour. And that was a real big way to try to maintain some sanity while in the early times when things were, you didn't know when it was going to end.
It seems like you're not that much of a help now, but once the baby's here, you're going to be in the game. You might be sitting on the bench now, but you're going to be in there for 4 quarters once the baby's here. So don't think, you know, that you're just going to have it this easy through the, you know, rest of the pregnancy.
There's a lot of compromising. A lot of compromising, a lot of talking. My wife wanted me to read books a lot. We didn't agree on that because I told her I grew up with a brother and 2 sisters, so I got a lot of experience underneath my belt. And so I actually didn't, we agreed not to disagree, not to read any books for me. I listened to her if she read something in the book she wanted to discuss, so that was fine.
Even changing a diaper is fun, you know. I mean, it's just cool to spend time with her and just watch her, you know.
I do all the cooking. Part of that is because I love to cook. Part of that is because my wife can't cook. And so it works out just fine. And so it's like the circle of life. I feed her, she feeds Kennedy. So it works very well. It's very balanced.
Work and family and marriage all adds up to more than 24 hours, and there are places you have to give. And that's the trick. There ain't no perfect formula. It's just a constant balance. But if you keep a sense of humor about it, you can find the fun in just about everything. And it's a great adventure.